Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good whatever time zone you might be in. I am Brad Chester, the most handsome, tallest, youngest man with the flowing locks of doom.
And I am Thomas Ogden, the most healthiest, non-sick person on this podcast.
As you hack up along. Excellent work.
And I'm
Brian Horton, the old guy who's somehow still here.
And I'm still Steven, and I have very terrible mic discipline.
Oh, I'm dropping that intro. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing back the Brad Wagon. That's the intro I used. I love it. It makes me happy and joyous inside. And it's all about your personal joy, everyone. All of it. Let's talk about, you want to talk about some 10th edition? Some Warhammer Fest things. I got so much stuff fed, and I'm going to use about 2/3 of it because some of it was just people talking to the game developers because they went, hey, that's a 4-hour line. And they went, I'm just going to talk to people. So, I don't know. Tom, I think, has a bad case of like tapeworm or something, and it's living inside him for the rest of his life.
I don't know what it is. Like I don't have symptoms of being sick anymore, except for this cough. That's it. This cough, not go.
I got the black lung pop.
Too much time in the coal mines. Just way too much time in the coal mines.
So,
The concrete.
Remember, Lyle, if I die, who I signed over my half of Death of Glory to.
Oh, I'm touched, Tom. I appreciate that, man.
oh,
Tom, you're telling me I got to move to the Midwest? Oh,
Man.
we own.
No.
Dish, 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 dish.
No, it's Lyle's most favorite person in 40K.
Oh, Eloise?
No.
Oh.
His name rhymes with somebody who once made the DC universe. Zack Snyder's cousin.
Nice. Is it going to be the Snyder cut?
Oh, yes.
Yay!
OG.
So, I want to talk about some stuff. You know what I want to talk about first? I'm going to read down this delightful article that has absolutely no ads whatsoever. It's what makes it the version Tom likes the most.
Yeah, it was horrible. You guys give me this link to read it, and it's like 30 ads popped up on my work.
It's just 5 enhance. It sounds like, I don't think you guys gave me the right link, man. Well, let's talk about it.
I thought it was like a joke at first. I'm like, what the hell? Like, you guys give me like a virus-infested website?
Well, let's run down that. They released some Inquisition stuff, and then I want to show some Golden Demon winners, some of my personal favorites. So,
nice.
Well, let's start with the 10th edition Blast. Apparently, 10th edition Blast is now, D6, and then you get 1 extra for every. The guy actually says it completely wrong, and then shows you the example of completely right. But it's D6 plus every 5 models you have gets you an extra shot. So the best is in the article. He's like, yeah, it's a D6 for every extra 5 guys. I'm like, that seems like a lot of D6s. We're going to shoot a lot of blast weapons, bros. So basically, if you're shooting at a 30-man blob, you get D6 plus 6.
Not bad.
So it's simplified, not a big deal. The one thing that really caught my eye is second edition Overwatch, yo.
Yeah, buddy.
Being able to shoot during any phase is pretty freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, anytime something moves in range of you, it's fair game to use the Overwatch strat, which is 1 CP, and you can just blast them. Now, apparently, you're only getting 1 CP each turn in your command phase, but that's still a big deal, especially if you've got a giant unit of whatever's desolators, whatever you're shooting at, unit is just kind of propped up going,
the question's the judge of me. Depending on how they worded it, it's whenever it moves within range. So does that mean in the middle of the movement you can go, I see you, bang?
Yeah, that's a big thing. And the thing is that in second edition, it actually was like that. You interrupted their move phase shot and then went on. We'll see if it's at the end. You know what I mean? Because it says that any unit ends its movement range of you. So I'm assuming it's still on a model by or a unit by unit basis, kind of like when you bring in reserves and somebody can Auspex scan and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that's the way it works. But of course, I was not there for that. So
it would be way more fun if it was, oh, nope, you moved. I can see you. I'm shooting.
I think it'll be kind of like AOS's system, where AOS happens now at the end of the phase, regardless of whether you're engaged or not. And then you can shoot anything that moved or did an assault during that phase.
Yeah. Hold on, because Kyle did make. I don't think everybody really got that, how significant that might be. So Kyle goes, "Hey, does that mean it's D3 plus 5 each turn to turning into 5D3 plus 25?" Yes, it does, actually, unless they cap certain weapons. So if you're shooting into an orc horde, you're just like, prepare to eat Castellan rockets, bro. So,
oh, jeez.
It's legit. That's true.
I assume it's going to be just, plus the number over 5. No matter if you're 4d6, it'll be 4d6 plus,
Total. Yeah. We'll see, though, because if it's per weapon, I mean, they were talking about it being like that per the weapon, and that's buck wild. You know what I mean?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Then, like, things like mortars, desolators, and shit like that would just be ruling. And that's cool because I love, like, super lots of indirect. It makes a super good, fun game. So.
No, it does not.
I wonder if does that mean if plasma interceptors will get twin linked, or if they'll get just a billion effects?
From the sounds of things, it sounded like everything that, at least when they were discussing it, was everything that was 2 weapons was going to become twin linked again.
I don't know if I still like that. That's a lot of rerolls to wound.
Yeah, but it just depends of what the points are for the unit, to be, in my opinion.
Yep.
I'll tell you one thing I'm most excited about 10th is they announced like that Codex roadmap and Tau Baby spring of next year, so we're not too far off. Not too far off.
Do you want to be one of the first codexes though?
Well, yeah, because
it's like the 6th Codex.
The thing is if you're a very first Codex, you kind of front load your damage on that because you dominate for a while and no one else has a Codex. Like, it's pretty big. Dude,
yeah, but I mean,
no. It's good for me because Marines is a first Codex, so I'll be playing Marines.
And then Tom comes out and Tom just pulls the fucking ejector seat. Later, I'm out of here.
We're back, baby.
This will be one of the first codexes, so I'll be happy for a little while.
I think it is the first codex, is it not? Yeah.
NIDS and Space Marines. I think NIDS are.
They'll probably come out the same week, is my guess.
I was going to assume they just come out in the box like they did before.
No. With Indominus, remember, we had the 3 months of just using Indominus rules.
Ah, that's true.
Space Marine Codex came out. Back when the Judiciar was actually freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
Because of it being 6-inch fight last.
So, all of the things, some of the stuff.
I'm sure there's going to be issues right at the beginning because there always is, but it should be a good time. I like the Wild Wild West.
Man, Dad. The thing that I'm super, super worried about, as soon as I saw this, I started having flashbacks. 10th edition models can't stand an objective marker. No model can end its move covering any part of objective marker. Are they going to make it so you can't move through them? Because we had that in multiple editions and people abuse the shit out of that. Especially if we're going into a vehicle heavy meta, right when we come out, when you can just basically put things behind and just put 2 tanks over next to the objective marker and just go, well, you can't move through here. So I can just stand on the objective and go, look what I found.
And it says you can't finish on it, right?
Yeah, but like...
Right, but it makes your charge 2 inches longer because you have to go now around a 40 mil base.
Well, I'm just saying, if I put 2 speeders on either side, you effectively, if I don't leave enough space, you can't charge me at all because you can't end your movement on there.
Yeah, you can charge.
Yeah, you can.
You don't want to charge the speeders.
I'm saying you charge the speeders and like the dudes I have standing on the objective are just waving at you going, enjoy fighting speeders.
Hi, enjoy your time.
Next turn, I'm about to beat you down. So
keep in mind, though, like we see things like WC and other events taking the ruin to prevent you from doing the same thing on buildings, like ruins. So I guarantee you we'll start seeing something that'll block a strategy like that, Brad.
Yeah, so I mean, you already
Although
had that back in the
does
old.
make it so all the really cool objective marker stuff that they put out, because in the last edition they put out a really nice set of like cool objective marker pieces. They'd be usable now.
Yeah, but they've also been selling a really good, expensive set of objective markers, like the competitive ones used too.
I mean,
so
does
it's not
literally anyone use just a straight 40mm objective marker? And
no,
not,
it's horrible.
yeah. It's just I haven't even seen those on the table in like forever.
Man, I got a 12-inch objective marker that I use for O's of the Moment, and people are like, "Oh, that's freaking cool!" And I'm like, "Yeah, you have to be wholly within. It reduces arguments, makes it real easy."
That's like I've been looking at acrylic objective markers that one of the guys made for a tournament that I went to or helped with. And that way you can have them on every table and there's never an argument because everybody's using the same ones.
Yeah,
Have you had arguments about different types of objective markers?
Oh, yeah, because one of the things that I heard was, well, your objective marker, how do I know where the center 40 is? There's just a dot in the middle. Is like, how do I know it's got the 40 mil thing in it? And it's like, oh, God, I've heard it as a judge. I'm not saying that I haven't, lost it by going.
I want to make sure that I know
over the top of his and see if they're the same size.
Or you just go, I want to make sure that you bleed red blood. Stab.
Yeah, right. I think the only way to solve this is a duel out back.
Yes. I challenge you, sir.
You challenge my honor in this tournament? Then let us knives it duel.
You know what I actually do like that I've seen so far is that if you're going to fight, it looks like we have regular engagement range is still an inch, but like to fight, you have to be based up with a model that's in engagement range. And that is kind of simplified. You don't have to see if it's half inch. If your models aren't touching each other, they're just not fighting. Hey, Anna. So I actually like
Anna? Everyone, real quick, if you're in the chat, type happy birthday to Anna. She just had her birthday this last weekend and ran a super cool event at her store. So really fun event.
And it was an old school ice cream like shake malt shop. It was like it's 100 and some years old. Is connected. We actually played inside of it.
The oldest soda pop shop in America, I think it said in the building. So
yeah, it was like from 1880 cool. Or something. It was pretty sweet. And I had a malt and it was amazing. And I'm living my best life. I had a malt at 9 a.m. or whatever we were at. So
also Anna's wife cooked like really awesome lunch for everyone.
Those potatoes were really boss mode. This is true. Lyle's like, I know this is a tense stream, but don't forget to mention the Warhammer Fest Super Major that ended today. Twice as many Imperial fists in the tournament as salamanders. Who knew?
Does that mean you're going to main Imperial fist for the next?
Absolutely
next
not.
months?
But maybe Sniggs will. He paints all of his stuff up like Imperial fist. It's his favorite chapter. Oldest in Michigan? It's the oldest in the universe to us, Anna. So we're just lying.
So what
else?
What was out of the 10th reveals did you see there, Brad?
Say again?
What else out of the 10th edition's reveals that were talked about?
Well, I was going to continue. So you can only fight if you're based up. And when you consolidate at the end of the fight phase, you can make a 3-inch consolidation rule, just like normal. But you can only make it if it puts you in control of an objective or if it puts you within engagement range of a unit, which is going to be hurt a little bit on movement because, I mean, think about how often you were charging, smashing something, and then just using that extra 6 inches just to move you behind whatever wall you wanted, move you in order. If that's like a big thing, like for a lot of my armies, that's a huge hit. I use the charge phase, and the fight phase is basically bonus movement phase all the time. And without having that there, I don't know how right now it feels like we're going to have a really shooting meta. Obviously we're going to see a lot more before the 24th or whatever June things come out. But like right now it feels very, very leaning and favored towards shooting armies. So,
well, I mean, it's going to make the fight phase dramatically more important about using the initial movements and the movements that you have, and especially with you having to be touching and touching. I mean, it also becomes the interesting conundrum of, do you use, what are those things called that people, the movement tray things? Because I think that's going to make those significantly more popular, because that way your models stay in base contact with each other.
Sure, because they make those for AOS where they have the base-to-base movement trays.
Yeah.
That are really handy.
Sorry, I can't use that word. I am a thorough enjoyer of utensils and fiddly things to make my table.
I'm just going with Zub's comment, and I'm going to let you guys read it. Oh, man. Desperate Escape.
Oh, this rule is horrible.
Yeah, it looks like, dude, I'm saying, like, it looks like the Battle Shock tests, which are basically new morale chests. Man, they're like legit. So they can also, if you fail the test, you can lose objective control, which means that you're just no longer OBSEC, so anything basically takes objectives from you. And if you fail it, you got to make a desperate escape check. And that means that basically things are just run down on a 1 and 2. You have to roll for everybody in your unit. And like, it looks like they were just showing the Screamer Killers forcing, but I assume that's going to be a mechanic if they've already showcasing somebody that has that. And those tests look like they're going to be fucking legit. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you can get some modifiers. I mean, we're looking at you, demons, to come out if they're still doing leadership manipulation. Man, that's going to be crazy. Like,
yeah, I think Night Lords, right?
Night Lords, Chaos Knights, demons. Man, that's a big deal.
The ability to force that check and you can take away OC from something when you shoot it is kind of interesting. It gives you a lot more play on the, I wasn't really going to, charge in with a ton of stuff, or I was going to have to charge in with a ton of stuff to take the objective. Now, 1 or 2 things can get in there and take it. It's kind of an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, I love it. Matt O goes, not looking forward to playing Horden's Screamer Killer list. That's going to make me take 9,000 Battle Shock tests.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, too, because you think about it, some of the factions currently have a lot of interaction with leadership and things like that, like Tyranids especially. So it's going to be really interesting right off the bat with Tyranids having their deck.
It just looks like it, yeah. It looks like it's actually, the horror, everything like that, and they've already got the Screamer Killer on that. And it just looks like they're just way more damaging. Like right now, there's a lot of armies that just don't care about, morale tests, or it doesn't really matter that much. But like this looks like you can, like some serious shit can happen. All of a sudden you lose OPSEC, you lose models, you could have to fall back, old school style.
So I read that differently. I read that if you try to fall back, then you have to roll that.
Yep.
The desperate. It doesn't.
But I'm not saying the desperate attack on that, but I'm saying from what they were saying, a couple of people. This isn't even in the article. A couple of people were talking about it. Maybe they were running it wrong, to be perfectly honest. But they were saying that you could be forced to fall back.
Oh gosh. See, and this is my little side rant. This is one of the most frustrating things for me about when they drip feed out interactions like this is nobody knows what the complete picture looks like, and it makes like the highs higher than they should be and the lows lower than they should be.
Agreed.
To the point where it creates a negative experience for the player base.
Would it be better if, like, because they now had their preview, right? If in 2 weeks they go, hey, here's just the base rules for you to look at and absorb without any data sheets.
Yes, so much. Like, then you could get a good feel for the game. You wouldn't have people making flash reactions. I know the internet would never do something like that, but like there is some people. Can't even
you said
continue.
that with a straight face, man.
Not sure how you got that out of your mouth without laughing.
But it would lead it so that we would be more excited about things, though, because we actually know the rule. We could start working with it. We could start planning. It would create, instead of people going, this might suck, you could just go, let's actually have some real data.
I was thinking if they just went, all right, here's the base rules. Here's no data sheets, right? So you have no army to play. Here's just the base rules for you to read and just kind of understand the basic rules. And then they spent like a week or 2 just explaining the basic rules. And then went, okay, here's like 4 data sheets, 4 from Tyranids, 4 from Space Marines, and we're going to show you step by step how the interactions work of this, and then walk you through like a couple game turns. Then you had those data sheets to kind of go, all right, we can kind of see the interaction and play with it a little bit to get familiar with it. And then it was like, okay, now we're ready to start pumping everything out. Would it be better if you had that, like, let's say 1 month lead time before the release to just kind of get a feel for things?
I mean, I'd be all over that, to be honest with you. That would just be fantastic. Fantastic.
I agree. I almost think I think my biggest issue is that they did this too soon. Had they done this at the beginning of June, then I think the ramp up wouldn't be as bad and there would be more information. But doing it this early just creates this like weird time frame. Like May is going to be weird.
Because they did this so early, do you think that for tournament organizers and people going to events, it's going to hurt attendance before 10th edition or hurt those early things that are in 10th edition?
Both.
Well,
Both?
probably both, to be honest. I'm very excited for 9th still, so I'm bummed that 10th is coming right now. I'm torn. I mean, I'm excited to see some new stuff, but like looking at the results over the weekend again, we just had so much shit go down. Hell, by the way, Tyranids did win a 70-player GT.
Yep.
No.
That's right, Gibraltar.
Yep. The balanced beta slate was enough.
It's
Wait,
just
that's Europe. That doesn't count.
It doesn't count. I love that, by the way, when you go to the Warhammer Fest, everybody else is 7-2, 8-1, 7-7, 7-1-1, 8-1, 7-2, 7-2. Iron Hands 9-0 to the face.
But no, for me, I'm in more of a, I am stoked for 9th, and so many events are kicking over that were like I was going to go to that are now kicking over to 9th, that I'm just like, I'd rather just consolidate, do more hobbying, get my schema lined up, make sure that I'm good for both Marines and Tyranids, get all my bases organized and stuff like that, map out my bases for the new box, and then just be ready to go hard in 9th or in 10th, because it's like, there's like what 2-3 super competitive events left in.
I mean, I've got I've got the Invitational, I've got Motor City Mayhem, and we've got Kansas City, and I think I'm going to go to Maryland in the middle of the month between everything to defend my title.
Are you doing ACO?
When's ACO?
It's the week after Kansas.
I don't know. Tom, are you going to ACO?
He is. He needs to go win it.
I mean, Brad, you might as well not go because you're not going to be able to beat me. But
oh man, but I'll go to cheer you on, buddy. No, the best is Tom. We're literally driving back from Anna's tournament, and it's Saturday night, and I'm not feeling so great. And Tom goes, "I just wanted to let you know, man, that I really think I've given you some trash about things, but I really think you're a good player." And then he lets it just set, the compliment set in, and he goes, I mean, not like me good player, but like really good nonetheless.
I did not say that. I think he's a good player, but Brad's making up as good as me. I gave you a sincere compliment way back.
It's true. Eloise, I don't understand what's happening that you guys are passing an MCM. That just sounds like crazy talk.
It does.
Wait, they're not going to MCM now?
We'll just go get them. I'm just gonna drive the van up, black bag them, just drive away. They won't even know what happened.
Go kidnap them, right? There's too many people that are switching over to Rocky Top for that weekend. Everybody needs to go to MCM. It's far superior.
Also, hopefully Zach's in chat because Salamanders run a 59-player event.
Nice. So what did that Tyranid list look like? Do you have it available? Or
I don't have it. I just have the Reddit article up.
Oh, that means I have to go look.
So, World Leaders won. AdMech won a tournament in Germany with 53 players. So, Ultramarines won a small Canadian deal. It's just... And I'm excited for the new edition, but we're just in a time right now that if Desolators all shot themselves in the face with their Castellans, This meta would be sick. It would just be awesome. Be open to everything. People are winning events with every faction.
Do you feel like Desolators are toxic for the current meta?
It's just any indirect with full rerolls is toxic to certain. Because right now, if you're playing a lot of the elves, if you're playing sisters and stuff like that, you have such a low chance to win against the heavy Desolator armies. So like they're just not getting played.
Desolators, right? Mortars and Earthshakers are really nasty for that too. Right?
Earthshakers aren't don't have the consistency with full rerolls on them. And mortars, because of the Finial losing the hit modifiers, you can mitigate that somewhat. You know what I mean? So it's
Tom, have you ever had to move your mortars from where you first placed them in the beginning of a game?
No, but I'm saying they're shooting through forests, shoot lightning fast reflexes, smoke, things of that nature. Even if it's only 17%, at least makes you feel like you have agency on the game. You can adjust the outcome a little bit. When you can't do anything to somebody shooting at you, it just feels shitty. You know what I mean? So that's the big thing on that.
I also think you're extremely biased against indirect.
Yeah, because I'm T3 with 1 wound and it pisses me off. Leave my elves alone. Also, sisters are a super cool army, and if you didn't have a bunch of indirect, I think that sisters would be dominating shit. They have great profiles in everything that's out in the meta right now, except for the fact that they just get picked up by indirect.
No. Sisters had their time in the sun. They got to do bullshit-free secondaries like Necrons did for a solid, 3 or 4 months?
Oh, at least.
Yeah, so that they already, it's time for somebody else to have fun.
To have fun.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that real quick. Let's back up onto 10, the stuff that we saw. What do you guys think about what they put out so far? Is it going to be what we actually play? Because like when Maelstrom came out, no one actually just used only Maelstrom for competitive tournaments. Like, I'm not going to lie, if I'm playing and I'm dominating someone for the entire 5 turns and they just run some wacky gambit and roll a 12 and I lose, I'm going to have to go get some wine because I'm going to be real annoyed. YOLO Swaggins, boxcars, looks like I win. You're like, what happened? Yeah, I just used my special card. The I win card.
I have a feeling that it's going to be preset missions, preset deployment zones by the TOs. And I think Gambit cards are going to be, or whatever the special super duper cards are going to be a no-go.
That's what I was debating on. I thought it was going to be something like that. There's no way that they would do the deployments on that because everybody's got to at least play the same game, or at least relative same game.
It says in the article, it allows for TOs to have discretion on what they're going to pick. And imagine the drama of the guy who wins LVO and he gets nothing but death and veal and conversion the entire time.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, Brad's over here doing nothing but talk and abandoned sanctuaries. There's no way any TO is going to let that
with my
stand.
all 4 deploying army. I'm just like, ah!
Right? I do think that Gambits, I heard rumor that one of the GW employees said that Gambits won't be used in competitive. And I was thinking from the perspective of, I think that's better for the health of the game, because I do think that there are players that will just build for a Gambit list. And like the one that they've revealed, like imagine an army that can just literally doesn't have to mess with you on primary, so they can just attrition the crap out of you, throw their entire army to the corners.
Yeah,
so
just
they score
hope
like
for it. Yeah.
2 4s or 2
Exactly.
5s, and then just, I got a 40. Cool.
It's just nuts.
Nuts.
Like I said, you're like, that would be definitely the Salt City GT. I think see how I tied it in? So
Appreciate that.
I mean, holy shit balls.
There was a nice talk amongst a group of tournament organizers that I'm in, where a lot of people were like, should we just like off the get-go use the old ITC missions? Hold more, kill 1, kill 2 kind of thing.
And that was so boring. But
I was just like, oh, that's just terrible. Let's not do that.
Yeah,
they were like,
that was the, why that happened though? Because
the missions were bad.
Exactly. The other option was, hey man, pick a card, any card.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm playing Crawley. Steven, what'd you get? It says kill elves and I get max points. What's yours say? Win melee with psychers. I'm like, what? I don't think I can do this, man. Sucks to suck. Like, I think
Shame
I'm
if
gonna
I
lose.
was to score max points. I'll tell you what. I'll give you some mercy points. Okay, I'll throw some psychers towards you at the end. Okay.
It's like, what the fuck? I agree. You should get the 4+ involved. But catch-up mechanics are big. Like, you could play riskier things, but you can't play like, I don't have to interact with you and then I can win at the end, and your opponent's just like, I played really well. And apparently just I couldn't do anything about it.
Yep. Just imagine like a Tau list that can like null deploy, doesn't have to come out, doesn't have to worry about primary. They get their 2 passive 5s or 10s, and then suddenly they just straight up Kayun, Cowabunga it is. They Tom Ogden, but they wait until round 3 to Tom Ogden. You're over here trying to play the game, doing the things, your army's exposed. They just eviscerate you, and they move, shoot, move, get themselves to the corner, and they're like, cool. So I get a 40 on primary, I max all my secondaries, and the other person's like, I didn't even get to play.
Exactly. You know what? And I want to do that. You guys remember old school? Knox goes, I think we should bring back old school as a secondary with some more features. That was with, First Blood, Slay the Warlord, and Linebreaker back in the day. I would actually not mind seeing that. I like to see like different things. Like, I do hate the fact that we just choose the same secondaries all the time, but I don't want them to be as random as they were with Maelstrom. We have to meet somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? Where we're not taking the same thing all the time.
It's like, this is where I get to stick to my guns. I was trying to write custom secondaries for Du Bois for upcoming in November because I missed writing them. So I just was kind of tinkering and playing where I was like, okay, so I have my deployment, my primary, you pick your 2 secondaries, but I'm going to have 3 custom secondaries in there and you have to pick one of them. That was,
yeah.
And I was just like, and making them so they are attainable for all armies.
Attainable for all armies is a really, really broad stroke, bro. Unless you're making to the last one of those secondaries. Like, I don't know how you make a secondary.
But there is a way to make secondaries to where they're achievable, like kill 3 units. At one point during the game, have 3 units in your opponent's deployment zone. There are secondaries you can do to say, you score 10 points if you do this, or 12 points if you do this, 15 if you do this, and give them some options. It was a thought. We were tinkering with it. It's clearly not done yet. It's a very much a work in progress, but it for 5 rounds, you can definitely do it. At least I felt like you could.
I feel like, for a controversial opinion, that our current rule set would be so much more balanced if you could pick going first or second. Because, like, grind them down actually exists as a secondary.
Oh, dude, grind. I mean, Oath is amazing if you go second. You know who's the goddamn Custode secondary, which is fantastic if you're going second, and it's trash factory if you're going first.
Right. Like, I think that there's actually a lot of room in the game if they were to reopen that door. I don't know that they will, but I really hope.
I don't know. I think it's tactical too, because you get to choose. I mean, it's a big deal on that. Yeah. I mean, they could actually put something in where, like, you could choose to go first or second, and then whoever lost the roll gets like a free redeploy or something. I don't know, something of that nature.
That sounds like
kind of. And I did hate C so much. No, but like I do like when you got to choose though, because you got the winning the roll is like losing the roll half the time. If you're playing Abandoned Sanctuaries and you win the roll, you're just bummed. You're like, oh, this sucks.
It's amazing to me how many times I'll talk to my opponent and I'll be like, I really wanted to go second. They're like, I really wanted to go second too. And I'm like, I'm glad you won that roll. It's like such a bad moment for them. Like, I didn't want to win the dice roll.
Ooh, I like what's going on in chat right now. Corey goes, for each shot of whiskey, you get 2 VPs. 12 people die. Corey pops in with Corey Schultz with no 15-point cap.
At Dallas Open, the dude that was running, because it was right after the Tyranid decks came out, and he ran all the drop pods, and each one of them had a shot of random liquor in it. And it was not mandatory because he was a good dude, but you were highly encouraged. I have not gotten so smashed because it was like tequila, Everclear, moonshine, and then another form of tequila, and then whiskey. And I was like, shit, I don't even know if that was turn one. I don't even know what I'm going to do.
Dude, I'm going to give you guys a good story on this. I won't even throw down who it was. So Lyle goes, bring back 7-turn game rolls. Back in the day, the old days of 40K, all games were 6 turns, but salamanders could just choose to take a 7th turn. My buddy's playing a guy right next to me in a GT, and it's salamanders versus orcs, and he is just burying this guy. And the guy's like, whew, tough game. You know, after 6 turns, it goes to like put his hand out. He's got like a wounded war boss and 3 orcs. And my buddy goes, I think I'm going to take a 7th turn. And the guy just like looks, if like he could have killed him with laser eyes, he would have murder faced him. And he goes and he kills the last couple guys. The dude, this is back when they had sportsmanship and stuff. You could just see the dude literally writing like a 0 the size of the sheet. So I could put it. And I ask him after the game and I go, dude, what the fuck? You know, the mission was blah, blah, blah. He goes, well, I didn't read the mission, so I just figured if I tabled him, I would win. I was just like, come on, man.
Oh, God.
But what about like 5th and 6th where you used to roll at the end of 5?
5, 6.
It was like on the 3+, it went to a 6.
And 4
on the
plus,
4
it went to
plus.
7.
Yeah. But the best part is it didn't tell you who rolled for that dice. And the best part is like, if you're playing and like, I literally had a game where I went 2nd. I was like, all right, well, let's see if the game continues. He was like, okay, cool. So I roll a die. And it doesn't. He goes, oh, wait a minute. I went first. I'm supposed to roll. And I'm like, what? I don't think so, bro. You like, it was totally cool with me rolling. He said, go ahead and roll. You watch. You don't get to do that. Like, but that shit was like so annoying back in the day.
There was no clear rule in the rule book for that. You are correct.
It's true.
Clearly, it's whoever wants it more gets to make sure that the roll.
I mean,
is first.
sometimes you get put in the pocket, and then you have to roll, and then roll again, and then try to use the CP reroll. You can continue. It's a
Hopefully a CPU roll
That's a
is-
real game, by the way, that happened, which is hilarious. But
What about like in 6th edition when you could steal initiative, and if you had like allies, so you brought in the guy from Dark Elf to give you a steal initiative on 4+, and you ally in the Inquisitor to let you re-roll that.
roll it.
So you're like praying you lost a roll to go 2nd, for you can try to steal initiative on a 4+ re-rollable.
So I want to talk about some awesome stuff, guys. Let's chat about some Golden Demon stuff, because I can't paint or model or stand half the time. So, but these guys can, and I did want to show up a couple of my favorites here, because these are pretty boss mode. Like holy shit! And this is as usual showing the fact that Age of Sigmar. Why are your models always better than ours?
So much better.
Pissing me off. But this thing was beautiful. These were all listed today. They're on the Warhammer community page. So I just picked like just my favorites effectively. But like some of these were just badass. This one, just rocking it on the forge.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. He's not fucking around. I mean, I don't even know how long some of these takes. Look at this bad one on Johan. Kicking it with Warhammer, with this Age of Sigmar, of course, large model. I want all of my guys to be like that. Can this just be my avatar? That's sweet.
I wish
I
could.
am talking painting. I mean, there's some just
Like, I hadn't had a chance to look at these yet. That bronze one's really nice.
Yeah,
like that.
I was just choosing the favorites on this. The ones for dioramas were just boss mode. Like, this is just crazy time. The Age of Sigmar one. And then you've got this one, diorama gold winner. Look at that. Woo! With fist on, rocking it out with a flaming sword.
Damn.
Against horrors in flames. Man. Can anybody send me some Golden Demon? I'm willing to play an army you will send to me if you paint it to Golden Demon standards. That's true also, everyone. I choose the dioramas that I think look cool, the models that I think look cool, and that I can see the colors. So if you paint it in a color that I can't see, which is about half of them, then I didn't choose your stuff. So it might have been better, which is why you saw me bringing out the bronze and the silver guys, because
Brad's lying, by the way. He told me on the way home on the trip. It's like, by the way, I lie to people all the time. I can't see colors, but I can see all of them.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just different shades of gray.
Oh God. The Blood Ages are closer. I have to find that.
All right, so we have the Invitational coming up this weekend. Everybody's got their list in, I assume, for the group that's going.
We have to submit lists.
Yes, Brad. Yeah, I think they were due like last week at some point.
Yeah, we don't really enforce that to invitation.
Oh, okay, good.
So I'm definitely gonna send my list in.
The invitation's like a different animal because it's a private event with just team members and friends of the team. So we don't stress a lot of stuff.
So Tom, are you playing?
I was gonna play, but then I found out I have to fly out Sunday for work. So no.
Oh.
So Brad, I was gonna come here and not let Brad win, but I'm probably gonna play day one and just grudge match Brad round one and knock him out and then drop.
That is true.
Oh.
I heard Nightfall Jonathan goes, Brad, you know you're playing a week before the event. I went out with everyone from the Valkyrie group the night before. We taught a class and then I told them that I would play whatever army was handed to me in the morning. First person to hand me an army, I just play that. So I was walking back from the bar at 2:30 in the morning, getting shown what my list was going to be. From the
What did you end up playing?
I ended up playing clowns, so it was fantastic.
Carly, coming to the invitation, by the way, or no?
I cannot. So I had a work thing pop up, and then my kid's recital popped up. Plus, Tom wasn't going to be there, so there was no point in me coming to squash Tom.
I'll be there day one.
I'm not flying out there just to squish you on day one. I can't do that.
He wants to crush all your hopes and dreams on
Yeah,
day two.
All you would do is you would just like get a little tilted and be like, I can't play on day two anyway, so it doesn't matter. This doesn't count as a real win.
Oh no, that counts. I'd give it to you. But see, the thing is, Crowley, as good as you are, and as much as I respect you as a player, the last time until you're gonna smash me, we played a little game on Friday Night Fights, and I don't think it went the way you thought it was gonna go.
You want to play an actual serious game anytime that you want to, where we're not doing a coaching game and talking through things, and Lyle doesn't remind you to put your shit in range of the flag. I am more than happy to do that. So.
Guys,
Yeah,
hold on. What I do
that
want,
was a real game, and I forgot to move one.
I do
unit,
want
so
everybody to
don't-
know that according to my email, my cow suit is going to be in tomorrow.
Yeah,
Nice.
but good job on Brad's like, hey man, I bought an extra large cow suit. I was like,
2X, thank you very much.
2X, cool. Brad, you wear a 2X.
I mean, that's true. Dude,
You wear.
this is.
Can I ask you an honest?
I
let me
told
ask you an honest
you,
sincere question.
I know that I chose the wrong size. After I was cold because I'm an old man. I was like, I'm cold. I need a cup of tea at the event this weekend. And I go, Tom, you got a hoodie in the car? And he's like, yeah. Tom gives me his hoodie, and it legitimately has a foot of sleeve hanging off it, and it's down around my knees, and I'm just flopping the sleeves around.
He just walk around like he's my child. He's like, hey dad. I'm like, Jesus, man. I'm playing, Brad. After you wore my hoodie, do you think me and you were the same fucking size?
Yes, because I don't learn from my mistakes ever.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't fit in a 2X. Like, ain't gonna happen.
We're gonna make it into a cape with a hood.
I said I would cut it into a cape and wear it, no problem. I'll wear it like it's a poncho, but it ain't gonna be worn like it's a suit because I could maybe get my leg in it.
Yeah, I mean, over the weekend I found out Tom's slightly larger than me. took me a second. It's in my mind. I'm 6'8".
The best part is that Anna, she got us a hotel for coming out there, and she got us
So
a honeymoon suite.
Oh, so romantic.
So the best part is we're sitting and checking in, and they're like a very ultra conservative like area, felt like. We're checking this hotel because Brad's like, yeah, me and him was about to have lots of sex tonight. He's telling the person we're checking for lots of sex. Can be crazy.
And demonetized.
Yeah. So
And then
go too far. Where's my Tom button, goddamn?
no, we're not done yet.
What do you mean we're not done yet? We're done.
And so we're like, and he's like joke with her, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna go with it too. I was like, yeah, I hope you didn't give us a room with double beds. I hope just one big bed. And she just looked at me like, these guys are weird. And then I get our room, and I went in there, and it's literally one big bed with a jacuzzi next to it and a big fireplace. I was like, whoa. And they had like romantic like towels and stuff. I was like, yeah, this is kind of
my mind's telling me no. But it was good times. And then I had a malt.
So, Brad, where do I get a hotel in Toledo that's close to the game room?
Anything off Secor. It's like 2 feet away.
Okay.
There's a bunch of hotels over there.
Tom, real talk. We should probably, since there's 2 editions this time, do 2 invitationals. The 9th edition invitational, and then the one that matters for 10.
Well, we do have a DOG. We have a DOG Team Battle Brothers event coming up in the early fall or late summer, where we're going to try to get everybody together and have a big go round.
I like that idea. We can do our best match there.
We're only going to have one invitational, but there's talks of us doing a second event close to it.
Rates. It was good times. I'm going to tell you guys about my sweet Space Wolves army I'm bringing. You guys ready for this? This Absolutely. Is what I'm bringing the Invitational. This is probably what I'm bringing to MCM. Probably what I'm bringing to Kansas City and any other random city I might find myself in. Space Wolf Captain on bike. Double infiltrators. Triple Wolf Guard. 2 of them with 4 lightning claws and a hammer, and 1 of them with 5 hammers because screw you, tanks. Then I've got 3 units of Woofing. 3 units of Sky Claws with 4 Melta Guns, a Thunder Hammer, and a Power Fist in there. And then 3 units of Long Fangs. All of them have a Terminator attached to them with a Cyclone Missile Launcher, Thunder Hammer, Storm Shield, 2 Grav, 1 Missile.
That list is all.
Pew, 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 pew.
It's missing suppressors. Like, how can you not have suppressors?
God, those are so bad.
Again, I say it every time. They're the only things that killed anything in my list.
That's because screw you. I could roll dice. And then you just spited me on your saves after I rolled bad. It's like I crawled on the ground near you, and then you just mercy kicked me in the head every once in a while. Like,
Last cannons are AP3. I had a 3-up save. AP3 is hard. 3-up saves are hard, okay?
It wasn't a 3-up save. You were standing in the open. You
After
just didn't care.
I didn't need to worry about it anymore.
Then you just disrespected me and we're walking. Like, my Terminators are just taking the bus now. They'll be there eventually.
Are you not entertained?
Oh, God. For sure, there's going to be a place to paint. We've got extra tables always. That is just a basic
should I go over what I'm playing, Brad?
Indeed, you should, my friend.
All right, so I'm playing Tyranids, Yormander, the 2 Tyrants on foot, 1 with the Balethorn Cannon, 1 with the Shard Gullet, a Turvagon Crushing Claws.
Say it correctly, Chad Gullet.
Chad Gullet, yes. 2 units of 30 Termagants, a unit of 5 Tyrant Guard, 2 Exocrins, 1 with the 4-up Invul save, 1 with Enraged Reserves, and a Tyrannofex with Acid Spray with Voracious Ammunition.
Mortal.
That is my list.
Tom, what were you going to bring?
Oh, baby.
Just no list,
You're
just
back on the Tau train again? I thought you were still doing guard.
Oh, baby. I miss it. It'd been nice to smash Brad with Tau because he's like, Tau can't beat my Space Wolves. And I was like, Tau's going to smash your Space Wolves.
Not with Hammer Time.
Oh.
Hammer Time.
I'm looking forward to seeing pictures of this.
I actually have a list with that has flyers back in it, so think it's good.
Interesting.
We're sure Brad's not an Iron Warriors player at heart. Seems angry that he doesn't get his way. I mean, I'm just a child. So, I mean, whatever chapter that is. I mean, like, I know who I am.
So you're a child, so you're a Logar?
He just sucks, man. But he is a petulant child, basically. He just pouted his way to the Horus Heresy. Man, you guys suck. Here's my question. Is there anybody in the 40K universe that has thicker plot armor than Bobby G?
Yeah, Rogodorn.
Man, Rogodorn hasn't had enough stuff happen to have plot armor. He's got him down in the
chosen one by the Emperor to protect Terra.
Yeah.
And then created Black Templars.
Yeah, to go on a freaking crusade to rid themselves of the stank of the Imperial Fist.
Or a crusade to prove how badass their Primarch is compared to everyone else's.
Yeah. Let's talk about
only Primarch better than Rogodorn? Sanguinius.
But he's dead.
Space
Brian,
Jesus.
Brian, I honestly need your opinion because these Imperium lovers are just too much. Their Primarchs are too much.
On this note, everyone have a good night.
I want to talk to you about the wonderful new Tyranid models because I cannot stress enough how stoked I am for
those models are sick, by the way.
So
I'm in agreement with you. Those are some sick fucking models.
The throat, whatever its name officially is Pinky in the Brains. 100% that's Pinky in the Brains. If you call it anything else, I'll probably end up getting upset. But those are awesome. The little feeder bugs that look like a venom crawler on Tyranids is really cool looking. The new gaunts look really interesting with the big giant gun on their shoulder.
Those are on 40 mil bases, bro.
Yeah, I know.
That's so crazy. Skinned. It's like the same pose and everything. There's one like.
Look, they ate one. Went that was tasty. Here, let's make one.
No, they ate a Desolator Marine, so that's their super frack.
Super crack 25, baby. I do love that everybody insta threw in Abaddon for plot armor. Yes, my bad.
No, Abaddon is a card carrying member of Team Rocket because he's constantly blasting off again.
Oh.
But no, like the Tyranid box, it's funny too, because this is the reverse of Indomitus. Indomitus was like super awesome. I got these cool models that look like they're going on crusade. We're going for a little bit of a medieval super theme of like the cool, like they're really awesome. And then the Necrons were like, here's Necron stuff. It's the same stuff that you got a little bit of War of the Worlds. Now, Marines are getting like, they're cool because we're getting Stern Guard, we're getting the upgraded Terminators, but there's nothing like defining. Right, it's like it's a really good box if you're ready to upgrade to the new like size Marines. There's a couple of new characters in there, but they're like characters that kind of already exist. They're just going to be scaled properly. And then the Tyranid is like, holy crap! I'm having a wargasm of all the goodness.
I'm gonna give.
I think
let's go to
I
the
think
wall.
you're not giving respect due to the venerable Dreadnought getting Primarist. Okay,
Hold on. Let's go to the wall real quick because you're asking what they should buy when everything goes live on but Saturday. When do we get orders? Tomorrow sometime. But what do you guys think about the new Leviathan box? And bonus question, what about that new Inquisition stuff? It actually looks pretty badass.
That new Inquisition stuff looks the bomb.
Someone...
And I'm not a huge Imperium lover. It's very straightforward. Even though Crowley says he's not, and he has an Imperial Eagle behind him.
I'm just saying one thing.
That was a segue joke, okay? Everybody knows how to play equally.
One quick thing. If the Tyranid rules are good, don't be shocked seeing running Tyranids.
We know that you're a dirty meta-chasing hoebag. But anyway.
I mean, I just dropped a video with me driving the bandwagon.
I'm going to have to hear, hey, Brian, you want to paint some Tyranids for me?
Yeah.
That's a possibility. I mean, and builds. Don't forget the builds.
So, before anybody says anything, Tyranids were my second army. I own 2 Harridans.
Oh my God! Here it comes. Hey guys,
yeah.
I was playing.
I need to start it early. Before
I haven't played it forever though, but it doesn't mean anything. I'm not a meta chaser.
I am a meta.
Here's the thing I can always say: I played Tyranids from the minute they got their Hunter Killer model that was first revealed in White Dwarf. So I've been playing Tyranids for a while.
By the way,
Hey,
the
hey,
young
if we're
Ryans-
doing this, my very first model I ever bought was a Carnifex. So I thought it was the coolest thing I've seen.
young
So
Ryans,
technically my first army.
young Ryan's Death Leapers are such beautiful models, and I'm so
Oh.
excited to have a full unit of freaking lictors. Like, oh gosh,
Dude,
and they're gonna
And
have some leadership.
I'm
effect.
hoping the actual lictor is still in the book so we can have leapers and lictors. Because I want so many things with feeder tendrils running around and giant mouths of doom. It's going to be awesome.
is anybody
Oh,
willing
did you guys
to?
also see one of the channels was talking about apparently like in some of the fluff they read that they think they figured out what the next Primarch is? Have you guys seen that?
No.
Who do you guys think the next Primarch is going to be?
Vulcan.
Oh, I thought we already knew that there was like two that were revealed that it was going to be the Lion and something else. Like we've known for a bit.
Yeah, well, yeah, it should be Russ because he's has been rumored for like since 7th edition.
I know, like as soon as the 13th company.
Yeah. But the
It
thing
should be
is
Russ.
that
I would like it to be Vulcan.
no, according to these people, it's going to be Khan.
What?
I mean, he has just been like literally driving around the Dark City for a while.
You know?
It would be fun.
Oh, look at Steve from 13th Legion.
God, Zeus.
Khan's
God. Oh, I have that.
apparently going to be the next Primarch, so we'll see how that is.
I have that clip too. Damn it, I should have had it ready. God. But no, you think one, can we get somebody like Jay and Silent Bob style to go to all these people that steal up all the boxes and then resell them and punch them in the face? Two, is this box worth buying, everyone?
100% if you're a Tyranid player. 100% if you are a Space Marine player that wants to primarize your Terminators and stuff. Just be wary. We know that generally these boxes are a loadout, not all the loadouts, right? So, but also the value. Like if you price account the Tyranid side for equivalent models, like the Tyrant for a Tyrant and the Venom Crawler equivalent for a Venom Crawler, and then it comes with 40 Gaunts, whatever the new ones are that we don't even know, and then the Leapers and stuff. It's super value for the Tyranid side.
So if
Yeah, I'd
the
definitely get, like, 2 or 3
spoiler
boxes.
is correct, because apparently somewhere Games Workshop said it's supposed to be like $250 retail. If that's the case, yes, you should buy this box because that Dreadnought's going to be $70.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was just like, I just wondered if I was missing it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, because I'm looking at the sheer amount of shit that comes in this box, and it looks.
I thought it was going to be as much as the Horus Heresy box. I thought it was going to be $300.
Even 300, man.
Yeah.
Box of Terminators is 60. A box of Stern Guard is 60. The 10-man squad's probably
The
another 60.
characters are
so you're
$40 a
20.
piece.
Yeah, so you're making like, and that's if you don't find anybody to split it with, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just a lone Space Marine player go burr, and then you have trade bait with all the Tyranid hungry players that are they're all going to come out of the woodwork and say they've been.
The way I
playing
can put this
Tyranid
is
for-
I have a Marine army, I have a Tyranid army, so I'll probably buy 3 boxes, and then every Marine player who goes, "Oh, I don't want these Tyranids," I will probably buy more. So, that's what I do, but I'm crazy.
I've got a group of friends that we've already got a spreadsheet of how many boxes we're going to buy together to make sure everybody gets covered with books and everything. So
the books and the things and the stuff. Everybody promote whatever you'd like to promote. Hold on, but I'm going to start though. Please like and subscribe. Take a look at our Patreon. It keeps us moving and shaking, and I will move that along to everyone else.
All right, so I'm going to promote the Salt City GT, July 7th, 8th, and 9th in Syracuse, New York. Lovely title belt over my shoulder. We have one for Age of Sigmar and one for 40K, that if you win the best general, you will be getting a title belt. If you win best overall, you will be getting a ticket to the... I'm sorry, it's the other way around. If you win best general, you're getting the golden ticket. If you win best overall, you're going to get a title belt. We've also got Kill Team and Marvel Crisis Protocol for it, so give us a check out, thesaltcitygt.com.
Love everything about it.
I just want to tell you guys thank you for chiming in with us and staying with us the whole hour. And sorry that I'm still sick, but love you guys. Thanks for the support, and we'll see you next week.
Can do.